Hey guys, good afternoon. We've got just a quick short video here with a couple of updates I wanted to get out. Just seems like it just gets crazier and crazier every second. So welcome to the Truth Factor, where we do headlines with an attitude. I'm Renee, and like I said, this has got to be quick. I've got things going down today, and I don't know when my child's going to call, so we got to be quick, as quick as possible. So that being said, let's get right into this. Okay. So first and foremost, all of these articles will be in the Wixit in a description in the box below. So the first article up is from Hal Turner, and it says the member of Turkey National Assembly, if a no ceasefire in Gaza within 24 hours from now, Turkey must step in. So the members of the Turkey National Assembly, Devout Balchi, is a ceasefire in Gaza cannot be achieved within 24 hours from today if the Israeli attacks do not stop. If bombs continue to be dropped on the oppressed, I openly share with my nation that Turkey must quickly step in and do whatever is necessary due to its historical, humanitarian, and religious responsibilities. The IDF spokesperson says its Air Force will, from today, start increasing its airstrikes on Gaza. So, guys, I guess you have what they're going to do in advance. So, I guess we can see Turkey entering this war against Israel. But as if we didn't, as if things couldn't get any, more grave for Israel. We also have Hezbollah entering the war. This here from War News 247. The Israeli Ministry of Defense requested permission for a ground operation in Lebanon. Hezbollah entered the war. It's a main war zone. Barrage of raids by Israeli fighters. The Minister of Defense of Israel, Yavan Gallant, asked the War Council at the NM Netanyahu for permission for a ground operation in Lebanon against Hezbollah after yesterday's rapid escalation of conflicts. The request of the Israeli Minister of Foreign Affairs was rejected for now, but the developments are not good. Today, the Israeli Minister of Defense stated that Hezbollah, which is based in Lebanon, has decided to enter the war. Hezbollah decided to join the fighting. He decided to go to war, and he is paying a heavy price for it, said Israel's defense minister. We have to carefully evaluate every possibility. There are bigger challenges ahead, added Yoav Gallant. The Israeli Ministry of Defense then approached the War Council established in Israel and requested permission for a ground operation. Netanyahu seems to have been adamantly opposed, at least for now, and voted against his proposal. Israeli defense officials said that they expected a massive escalation of rocket attacks by Hezbollah in southern Lebanon next week and were preparing to deploy additional forces in the north. Hezbollah will increase the pressure on northern Israel, and for the reason the Israeli army is preparing for the possibility that Lebanon will become the main field of war. Israeli defense officials specifically state additional Israeli forces are already being deployed on the northern front. Artillery positions are being prepared, while 3 additional settlements on the border with Lebanon will be evacuated. Earlier today, Hezbollah launched a major rocket attack from the southern Lebanon on Israeli army's position in Sheba Farms. Subsequently, the IDF aircraft struck Hezbollah targets, according to the announcement of the Israeli army. Military compounds used for operational and terrorist purposes, as well as Hezbollah infrastructures, were hit. In addition, the IDF hit anti-tank missiles launchers located along the border. And there's some videos. Hezbollah Deputy Secretary General Nam Kazem said today that Israel's ground invasion of the Gaza Strip will become a graveyard. We are fighting in the south for both Lebanon and Palestine. We are at the beginning of the campaign, and we are having success. The free world across the planet is with us. Gaza will become the grave of the Zionists. We have no choice but to win and defeat Israel. Many tried to convince us not to get involved in the war, but we are in the heart of the war, Nam Kazem emphasized. Finally, Israel asked its citizen in Egypt and Jordan to leave those countries as soon as possible due to the worsening anti-Israel protest. According a corresponding level 4 warning, the highest has already been issued for Turkey, while the recommendation for Morocco has been revised to level 3, with authorities advising Israeli citizens not to visit the country. Okay, guys. And then the next article that I have is this. Remember, we talked about one of the USS battleships seeing a rocket or missiles going supposedly towards Israel, and they knocked them down. Well, here it tells us that this was a 9-hour battle. So it says the first images of the USS Carney fought a 9-hour battle, intercepting 4 land attack cruise missiles and 15 drones aimed at Israel. Much more serious than initially said and estimated was the final attack launched by the Houthis, the Iranian guards from Yemen, against Israel. The Arleigh Burke-class destroyer, the USS Carney, DDG-64, fought a 9-hour battle, intercepting a total of 4 land attack cruise missiles and 15 drones. The trajectory of the 4 missiles and 15 drones shot down by the USS Carney after it was launched from Yemen left no doubt that they were headed for Israel, a U.S. official said, a clear indication than the Pentagon's initial assessment. A constant barrage of drones and rockets targeting Israel well outside of the Gaza conflict is one of the series of worrying signs that the war risks escalating beyond the coastal enclave's borders. That is why the Americans did not retaliate against the Houthis' targets in Yemen in an attempt to contain the scope of the war in the Middle East, even though they saw rockets and drones being fired at Israel for 9 hours. The restraint shown by the U.S. is remarkable. A while ago, the Fifth Fleet released photos of the interception of the missiles and drones. And those are some pretty amazing pictures. And there's another one. Multiple U.S. officials are now reporting that the interceptions over the Red Sea almost 2 nights ago by the USS Carney were much more significant than had previously been stated, with the destroyer said to have intercepted at least 4 land attack cruise missiles. I have to agree. If it took 9 hours of battle, wow. In more detail, the incident of the coast of Yemen and the Red Sea, in which the American cruiser shot down these missiles and drones aimed at Israel, had larger dimensions than those that were initially known. The U.S. Defense Department officials say the U.S. Carney has detected and shot down at least 4 cruise missiles and 15 drones fired by the Houthis, who are known to be backed by Iran. The targets are moving along the coast of Saudi Arabia with a clear direction towards Israel. All were reportedly launched within a 9-hour period. Some targets even flew missiles at a height that could potentially affect civil aviation flights. CNN reports that the U.S. Carney had transited the Suez Canal heading south as recently as Wednesday. The trajectory of the rockets and the drones left no room for doubt that they were headed for Israel. In any case, the barrage from Yemen to Israel is a worrying sign of the escalation of the conflict beyond Israel's borders. The missile fired by the Houthis were shot down by the SM-2 missiles from the USS Carney, USS officials said. So, let's see. One missile was intercepted by a missile defense system, while the second, an empty storage facility. The official said no one was injured. The rocket attack. While I'm not going to predict any possible response to these attacks, I will say that it will take all necessary steps to defend the U.S. coalition forces against any threat. Reuters said any response, if it happens, will come at any time and the way we choose. Some crazy looking pictures there, guys. And here we thought it was just, a couple of missiles and that was it. They were actually in a 9-hour battle, kind of crazy there. As you read that, kind of, puts little things into perspective a little bit for our military, right? Okay. And guys, I don't like reading stories like this, but I'm bringing this one to you guys because I only feel like there's going to be more in the coming days, stories like that. Hi, Watchman. How are you, brother? Okay. It says a Detroit synagogue president was found stabbed to death outside her home in the downtown area of the city on Saturday morning. Samantha Wall, 40, was head of the Isaac Agree downtown Detroit synagogue since 2022 and previously worked for several Democratic politicians, including Congresswoman Eliza Slotkin. According to the Detroit Free Press, Wall's body was discovered after a trail of blood led to her home, where she was found with multiple stab wounds and was pronounced dead at the scene. Police say that they are still investigating the crime and neither motive nor cause of death have been officially released. It remains unclear if the killing has any relation to unrest in the Middle East. No arrests have been made, and anyone with information is asked to call Detroit Police Department Homicide Section. Tributes quickly poured in. The religious leader, who was noted for her work building bridges between the Jewish and Muslim communities, as her synagogue expressed shock at her sudden, unexpected passing. At this point, we do not have more information, but we will share more when it becomes available, her synagogue said. May her memory be a blessing. Now, again, guys, we saw that last week a 6-year-old and a mother, I believe they were Muslim, were killed here in Illinois. I think it was in Illinois, and this one is in Detroit, Michigan. And so, unfortunately, I think that we're going to see these things continue to pop up. Hey, Kevin, how are you, brother? Unfortunately, we're going to see these things pop up, and I hate reporting on articles like that, but I report them so that you guys, if you are a Jew or Muslim, that you would be aware of your surroundings and maybe always go in twos, if not more, as needed if you have to leave and go anywhere, take a buddy system. And again, continued prayers for both sides of this, guys. And we will continue on. Then we have this here from Zero Hedge, guys. The first in the nation, Arkansas forces Chinese company to sell its farmland. I saw this article and I almost just couldn't believe it. But the other day I'd seen her talk about doing it, right? Well, here she's done it, apparently. Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders announced that Arkansas will require a Chinese-owned company to sell its farmland in Arkansas, saying it will be the first in the nation move that bans foreign parties from owning agricultural land in the state. Sanders, along with Attorney General Tim Griffin and other Republican leaders, said that the company, Signeta, will have to sell around 160 acres of land in Craighead County, Arkansas. The company has headquarters based in Switzerland and owned by Chem China, which is a Chinese state-owned business that primarily deals with seeds and pesticides. Anyway, not kind of a thing you really think about, but good for her, sticking and kicking them off American land, right? I'm not going to read anymore, but I think that's good news. Okay. We're going to go into this next one, which is a warning. Since we're talking about China, right? We go from one kind of thing to another here. But this here is Chinese media issues an ominous warning to the U.S. global scale. A Chinese newspaper, and this is from Newsweek, guys, a Chinese newspaper has given an ominous warning to the United States, claiming it is inciting the risk of a war on a global scale. Friday editorial from Global Times, a nationalistic English language tabloid published by the propaganda department of the ruling Communist Party, criticized the Pentagon's annual report to the Congress on China's military power. The Pentagon's report, which was released on Thursday, detailed China's strengthening nuclear capabilities, resistance to military communications with the U.S., expansion of national power, deepening ties to Russia, as well as the country's provocative actions in the Indo-Pacific region, specifically in and around Taiwan Strait. The Global Times, whose views do not always reflect official policy in China, called the intel gathered in the Pentagon's report a malicious speculation and smears, adding that the U.S. was trying to fabricate a terrifying image of China. Speaking on China's heightened showing of military force in Taiwan in recent years, which the Department of Defense detailed a ballistic missile overflights, increased flights into Taiwan, self-declared air defense identification zone, and large-scale simulated joint blockade and simulated joint firepower strike operations. The Pentagon report outlined 6 scenarios that could prompt China to take military action. However, the Global Times claimed in its editorial title, China's military power only makes those with malicious intent feel threatened, that it is rather the U.S. who has been provoking tensions in the Indo-Pacific region. In the past year, the actions of the U.S. military have made it even clearer who the escalating threat in the Asia-Pacific region truly is and what possesses the greatest challenge to peace and stability in that region, the Chinese media outlet said. Meanwhile, the DoD has budgeted over $9 billion to the Pacific Deterrence Initiative, which aims at keeping the Indo-Pacific region open. In addition, the U.S. has sent its most modern and capable weapon systems to the region, according to the department. Former Indo-Pacific Command Chief Admiral Harry Harris warned this week that China might attempt to invade Taiwan within this decade. Meanwhile, Taiwan's President Tsai Ing-wen said earlier this month that peace with China was the only option. In its Friday editorial, the Global Times also warned that real danger facing the U.S. does not actually stem from its imagined challenge to its position of leadership by China. Rather, it arises from excessive interventions and the blowback resulting from creating tensions and inciting the risk of war on a global scale. Anyway. Yesterday, North Korea, today, China, right? Don't even, and I think the day before that, it was Russia, right? Anyway, we have this article down here, guys. It's in the For Your Eyes section. And the reason it's there is because we covered one yesterday, really about the 26 branches closing in, I think it was Wisconsin and Michigan. And I think there was one in, it was Michigan and Minnesota and one in Wisconsin. Anyway, here they're talking about financial crisis already being here, and we, closing hundreds and laying off thousands.
Did you hear me? Come get me when it's time to go.
I heard you. Yes, ma'am.
You promised to come get me.
Mm-hmm. Anyway, hi there, Team Angel. So that is what I have for you guys. Anyway, as always, please remember to keep your prayers up and stay prepped up. Anyway, I love you all. May you all have a wonderful, blessed day. If there's anything else, but I did think that was pretty important about Turkey issuing the 24-hour warning and this 24-hour warning answer from IDF, basically, which is them saying they're going to increase their bombs. So I guess we'll have Turkey involved. Hezbollah supposedly entering the war, saying that they were already in it. We'll see what tomorrow holds, right? Anyway, God bless you all. Have a blessed day. We'll talk at you later. Bye.